Good evening, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. I'm your host, Ross World. Good evening, Ms. Curly Girl. And today we're just going to talk about, what if you had $1,000 that you're just saving money? It's not part of your emergency fund. It's not part of your travel fund. It's not part of any fund that you have on hand. But you have this money and you absolutely don't know what to do. But come on, quite frankly, we know that most of us, we just want to spend it on those very frivolous things that is not going to help us even after all this COVID-19 mess is over. Now, granted, if you saw my video the other day about the flu, that the official name of this virus, now on the WHO website, that's the World Health Organization website, they call it coronavirus, they call it COVID-19 for the disease name, but the virus name is actually SARS-CoV-2. So what that tells me is this is a different strain of the SARS virus. But anyway, we're talking about what are you going to do with that $1,000 that you're just saving? Because some of you are like, oh, see, that's why I didn't put my money in the stock market, because all those people are losing all their money. Now, the stock market is an intricate baby, right? If it feels good, it goes up. If it feels bad, it goes down. Right now, the baby is up and down. Now, granted, I bought Boeing when Boeing was $100. Now, Boeing is actually above $100. So I'm going to, I might share my screen with you or not, because today we're going to talk about some different ways how you can actually take that $1,000 and multiply it. Now, I only bought one share of Boeing, but just what if I bought more than one share of Boeing, right? What if I bought one more share than Boeing? What would it look like? That means I would have made, let's say, for instance, I bought one share. So I made $5.62 today. That's if I sold it, okay? That's if I sold it. But I didn't sell it. I'm going to keep it. See, when people say, oh, that's why I don't keep my money in the stock market, that's because they don't know how investments actually work. What they don't know is that a lot of millionaires, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They actually put a lot of their money in bonds to safeguard their money. They put their money in bonds, and bonds are not even taxed. Okay, bonds are tax exempt, in matter of fact. Now, they might have occurred some sort of tax trying to transfer money over into bonds, but nonetheless, people know how to safeguard their money. And also, they probably put a lot of their money in what? Precious metals. That's right, precious metals. I've been talking about it the whole entire year, how platinum, palladium, silver, and gold is a great investment, okay? All right, let's talk about some ways that $1,000 could be useful to expand or multiply your financial portfolio. Put it in the IRA, right? Real simple. Pay off your credit card debt. Build up your emergency fund. And we understand what that emergency fund is. And I really want you to really be diligent about what your emergency fund is, because if you don't know, ladies and gentlemen, right now it's an emergency. As a matter of fact, it's a state of emergency. So if you unfortunately got laid off, my apologies, I'm sorry that's happening to you. If they're cutting back your hours, or you have a loved one that is sick or a friend that is sick and you're taking off from work to take care of them, I am sorry that you're going through this hardship, but this is the exact thing I've been talking since I started this channel about your emergency fund. Hopefully, right? Because now everybody is being awakened by this pandemic across the globe. Whether it be financially, whether it be loving on people you never loved on, communication, like even today, after this video, me and a couple of buddies, we're going to get together and we're going to actually do a, a virtual happy hour. Okay, we're going to do a virtual happy hour. I may drink some juice or, some adult stuff. I ain't going to put out my business like that, but you know how it is. But with that $1,000, what about buying into stocks that pay dividends? What about fixing up your car? What about buying a bike, right? Buy a bike. Get back into shape. We know that we all started that New Year's resolution for about a good 2 to 3 weeks. And by February, you was all back to your routine. So this is the opportunity to buy yourself a bike. And granted, let me tell you something. Bikes are expensive. I have a bike that I haven't rode in a while, and I should. It needs to be fixed up a little bit. But that bike was $2,000. And some of you are like, oh my God, that's $2,000. If you talk to people who know about bikes, $2,000 for a bike is very, very cheap. It's very, very cheap. Good bikes, they will tell you, start at $4,000. Now, granted, if you're just going to use this bike for a short commute to work, maybe 5 or 10 miles, it don't need to be that expensive. But I'm going to tell you, if you want a nice bike, that $1,000 should pretty much be your nice bike. And some of you are like, I'm going to go ahead and get me a bike from Goodwill. I mean, Goodwill for $20 or a Walmart for $100. Nah, that's not the bike you need if you're going to commute, especially if you're an adult, okay? What about playing the stock market? Right now, you can do option trading and betting on the stock market there will continue to decline. You can put those puts in, and then you can actually make money off the stock market losing. So that's something to look into as well. We talked about precious gold and commodities. You can buy into oil. Oil is really down because guess what? People are not commuting and driving as much as they once were because of this whole pandemic. You can also invest your money in a company like Prosper or LendingTree, those peer-to-peer lending platforms, and you can make a substantial amount of money. Now, granted, the riskier you are with your stocks, and if you sign up for an account, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. The more risky you are with loaning out your money, the chances are you may not get all your money back. But if you go with those safe investments, the percentage of you getting it are a lot higher, but the return is a lot lower, but you still make money on your money. And then you have real estate. You can either buy into brick and mortar real estate or REITs, those real estate investment trusts. And here's the platforms. My two favorite platforms are Robinhood. I have the link in the description if you want to look into Robinhood. And I also have Stash. I love Stash because you can also get into fractional spending. And with Robinhood, you can do cryptocurrencies, okay? So these are some quick tips I just wanted to give you guys. That way you guys can make some money during this bear market right here. During this bear market, everybody is pretty much freaking out. And granted, I understand that the normal response of people, but let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you freak out, if you spaz out, if you do things because of fear, it's not going to be profitable for you. You're going to spend a lot of your money for no darn reason at all. Okay, for no darn reason at all. This is how people absolutely get rich. People get rich when you buy things out of fear. Now, I have a picture on my desktop. I really want you guys to see this. Hopefully, I don't shut off my broadcast. Let me see what this. Because this picture pretty much, in my opinion, oh, I don't have it anymore. But this picture pretty much, I showed it on the flu. If you want to see this picture, you got to go all the way to the end. But it talks about how do you ransom the world, right? And it talks about the way you ransom the world is you build a contagious virus and then you release it. And then you drive down, or you control, yes, you control the narrative. You use media to instill fear. You drive down the stock market, making stocks really, really cheap. You buy up the stock market, right? And then you release the vaccine or cure, and you make billions of dollars by doing it. Now, granted, I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories, but I'll give you some food for thought as well as I did in that video. And it's this. I want you to look at how China's GDP from the year 2000 has grown exponentially through the 20 years. And then look at all the pandemics, look at all the flus or the influenzas that actually came out, like the H1N1, aka the swine flu. Now, the UK, France, and China want to say it came from America. But essentially, back in 1918, which was also called the Spanish flu. No, H1N1 is the Spanish flu, not the swine flu, excuse me. I think that's H3N9, something crazy like that. But it originally originated in China. So you got the swine, you got the swine flu, the bird flu, and today this virus was COVID-19 or coronavirus because coronaviruses mean a bunch of viruses and bacteria together. But the actual name, and you can look on the WHO website, that's the World Health Organization website, the name of the virus is SARS, CoV-2. That's the name of the virus. The name of the disease is the coronavirus. I know, awkward. But ladies and gentlemen, I didn't get on here to confuse you. I just want you to use that $1,000 as proficient, making money for you. Because I glanced at the stock market today. I'm not really going to sell. I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to buy if I do. But I'm definitely not going to sell anything. And granted, if you guys are out there fearful about your IRAs, your 401ks, any sort of retirement account, your HSAs, your permanent life insurance, your trusts, I'll tell you this plain and simple. Shift your money into precious metals. Shift your money into U.S. government bonds. That's U.S. government bonds, not corporate bonds. Corporate bonds are failing right now. They're failing. And when it comes to bonds, bonds are securities. So you have to think that I need to secure my money with a bond because they are securities. So that's the way you have to look at it. Like bonds, like TIPS, right? Treasury Inflation Protection Securities, TIPS. Treasury Inflation Protection Securities, okay? Those are a different type of bonds that basically safeguard your money during times of high inflation or even low inflation, right? It's supposed to sustain your wealth. These are just different ways that you can do it. And quite frankly, I've told you guys many ways how rich people actually safeguard their wealth by international private precious metal seller, where there's no record of them getting this gold. And they test the gold on site. It's not kind of like drug dealers and all that. Don't think like that. Don't think negative. But because of their international credentials, there's a lot of things that they don't have to really record. It's kind of like cryptocurrencies for precious metals, so to speak. But anyway, you have to look for those things yourself. I don't want to be flagged on YouTube, right? But anyway, this is Financial Literacy 101. Hey, Miss Curly Girl, Truett Steven, let me read your comments really quickly. The Nikkei index was up 2% today. Well, thank you, Steve. I don't know if you go by Steve or just Steven, but anyway, with the PH. A good question is to ask, which industry will bounce back best and fastest? Those will be some good areas to buy. I'm gonna go with tech. I think tech is gonna come back stronger and harder because what are we doing right now? We're using technology to reach people. We're using technology to order groceries. Like I use technology to order some paper plates, through Amazon. There's just so many things dealing with tech because everybody is using platforms like what? Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. All these social media platforms are backed by what? They're backed by what? They're backed by some sort of technology. Okay, right now I'm using Streamlabs. Sometimes I'll use Zoom to go live on YouTube. They have another platform called WebEx. You got Skype Business. All these are different sorts of technologies that you guys can be investing in because guess what? It has to go up because we're using it more so than ever, right? You're working out with a buddy, and quite frankly, like I told you, after this cast, I'm going to get online with my buddies. We're going to do a virtual happy hour. We're going to be on using Facebook Messenger. So there's many things that happen in the investment market that's dealing with technology. Because as we are physically distancing ourselves, socially distancing, I guess socially, right? But I'm going to say physical distance because you need that 6 feet apart from each other that they're claiming that is going to be a safe zone for you not to contract the virus. So when you're doing that physical distancing, social distancing, whatever it may be, we're using technology more so than ever. Okay? Yes, and Amazon is hiring 100,000 people. Okay? Anyway, that's my time. I got to get up with my boys in about 3 minutes. I hope I gave you some information, some food for thought for your $1,000. And the most important, if you got debt, pay it down. Okay? Pay it down. If you don't have enough in your emergency fund for 3 to 6 months, put that $1,000 in there. Don't just spend your money on all these online websites for a bunch of junk, okay? I know some of you have been subscribing to Netflix and Hulu and Roku and Disney Plus, and that's fine because during this time you need some entertainment. But you know what? Don't tell me after all this mess is over and all those videos I gave you about reading all those books Even the Taming Wall Street book by Stephen Garland that we gave out for free. Don't tell me you don't have time to read it. You got nothing but time right now. You have nothing but time. Don't tell your kids you can't read them a financial book. I bet you they go to sleep. Mom, what's a CD? Mom, what's an IRA? I promise you a financial book will probably put you and them asleep if it's not good. But anyway, guys, that is my time for today. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. And at the end of the day, we all have to wash our hands. I'm out.